Okay, guys, we're going to do graphs of inequalities. Inequalities one more time. All right. And I want to thank those of you that have been trying this and maybe you struggled with it. Please watch this video. Try to take notes from it, learn from it. But anyways, guys, if you can't find it in the assignments I gave to you, then just search it. Notice how I just started typing in graphs of n, and all of a sudden, guys, there it is. It popped up. Remember, this is our goal, graphs of inequalities. That's what you're going to look for, okay? There it is right there. So I'm going to click on that. And as you can see, it happened to be the very first thing that popped up. Sometimes it's in second or third place, but that's what I'm going to pick. Graphs of inequalities practice. So I click on that, and here we go. Now, guys, remember that to graph any linear, or in this case, inequality, we got to solve for y. We got to make it y equals mx plus b, basically. So now we know where the slope is, and we know what the y-intercept is, right? So that's what we're going to do right here. I'm going to go ahead and start by minusing 10x both sides. So 5y is going to be greater than, I'm going to put the x in front if that's okay, negative 10x minus 4. Now what? Well, we want y here, so we're going to divide by 5. Now, guys, notice I'm using distributive property. I'm dividing every term by 5. So now what? Y is going to be greater than, that right there simplifies to negative 2x, right? Negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. Watch your signs, by the way. And this, of course, stays a fraction. Negative 4/5. Don't let the fraction scare you, guys. Because, frankly, Mr. Khan did not do a very good job setting up your choices. He made it too easy. So, here's a key thing, guys. This is a greater than. What that means is we're going to have a dotted line. Let me use my black here. That seems to show up best. So we're going to have a dotted line because greater than and less than are not equal to unless they put a line underneath it, right? A bar underneath it. So we know it's a greater than, and so we're going to have a dotted line, and we're going to be shading above because that's what greater than is. We want to be greater than. See, if I'm underneath, that would be less than. So, as you can see, guys, A is wrong. See how it's shading underneath the line? Okay. Now, here are your actual choices. We just discussed A. Notice B is greater than, but the line is solid. That would be a greater than or equal to, you see? So that one's wrong. The only logical choice, guys, is D. This one, again, is less than. This is the other one that's greater than. Now, notice, guys, right there, by the way, is your negative 4/5, just below the 0, right? And notice how the line goes down and over. To be more specific, it's going to go down 2 and over 1. Okay? But the choice in this case was D. All right, let's take a look at this one. Again, let's solve for y. We're going to minus 7x both sides. So negative 2y is less than or equal to. See the bar right there underneath? I'm going to put the x first, negative 7x plus 5. Now what? Well, I need to get rid of this negative 2. I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. That's called distributive property. And something happens, right? Not only do we get rid of the negative 2 to 1, we have y now, but this has to switch, guys. Whenever we divide or multiply by a negative, inequalities switch. Remember that. So I had to do a switch right here. I had to flip it, some of you guys say. All right? So less than or equal to becomes greater than or equal to. Now that right there, guys, the negatives cancel out, so I have 7 halves x. And that right there means a negative 5 halves. Okay? So we're looking for a greater than or equal to. And if you look, This one is dotted. This one is also underneath the line. That's definitely wrong. Okay? Look at choice B. This one is solid. Okay. But guys, if you look at the line, it's slanted like this, right? So do you agree everything in here is underneath the line? If I'm underneath the line, that's less than. Look at choice C here. See how I'm greater than, but the line is dotted? Not good enough. The only logical choice is D. See how I'm greater than? Right? And to be more specific, guys, we're supposed to start at -5/2 and go up 7/2. So notice, right there, guys, is our -7/2 or negative, what is that, 3.5. Okay, and notice it does go up 7/2. It goes up 7/2. I know it's hard to see, but D was the only logical choice anyways. It was the only one greater than that was solid. Okay, let's do this one. I'm going to minus 10x both sides. 5y is greater than -10x minus 4. I'm going to divide everything by 5. So y, notice I do not switch it, guys, when I divide by a positive. All right, and that right there is a -2x minus 4/5. That looks familiar. Did we already do one like that? Sometimes Mr. Khan repeats himself. But anyways, guys, we want greater than. We want it dotted. Okay, I think we just did this one. So we want it greater than. Guys, notice this is less than. This one's less than. See how I'm underneath the line? These are my only two greater thans. We want it dotted. That's why I picked choice D again. Yeah, I think we repeated that one. Hopefully I have one more. All right, this one is different. Here we go. I'm going to add 3x. Again, guys, if you've used Khan Academy enough, sometimes Mr. Khan scrambles the problems around, but then gets repetitive sometimes by accident. But anyways, once I add 3x, -3x is gone, so -4y is less than or equal to, I'm going to put the x first. So 3x plus 2 is right there. Now, guys, I need to divide by -4, right? I need to divide by -4. See how I'm dividing everything by -4. Distributive property. So y is greater than or equal to, we had to switch that. If that was greater than, this would have been less than down here. But it's greater than or equal to now because we divided by negatives. So we have -3/4 x minus 1/2. 2/4 reduces to 1/2. So guys, I'm looking for greater than or equal to. In other words, I'm looking for a solid line and shaded above. So let's see here. This one's less than. No good. This one's greater than, but the line is dotted. Still no good. This one is greater than, and it has a solid line. And D is less than. That one's no good. Our only logical choice is C. Now, guys, just to be thorough here, the B was -1/2. The slope was -3/4. So notice how right there I'm just below the 0 at -1/2. And the line does go down 3 and over 4 spaces if you look closely enough. Okay, but the bottom line, the choice was C. Now, guys, you may have to do one or two more. But one thing you ought to know is inequalities, guys. As I've told you in previous videos, guys, this is something I've been tutoring my grandson on who's in college. Okay? And if he needs to know it for math, most likely you better learn it for math. Okay? See you around.